Today in the nerdy news you need to know about, the D.I.C.E Award nominees are being revealed right here. Halo might be coming to Switch 2, and Andy's played Citizen Sleeper 2. We'll have all this and more because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Friday, January 10th, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside my co-host for the 2025 D.I.C.E Awards, Stella Chung.
Hello, everyone. I am so happy that we're going to be returning back to the D.I.C.E Awards this year. It's going to be fun.
It is going to be fun, Stella.
Yeah.
It's never a boring time doing the D.I.C.E Awards with you. You keep me on your toes. The audience is always cheering for you, booing me. It's a fantastic
it's great.
time.
Ugh,
yeah.
Love it.
Belinda's so loud.
I love her so much.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
you should be. You should be paying her for the amount she cheers for you.
I know. I mean, Yusuf, sorry, but she's also my wife too.
Of course.
so,
Of course.
You can have her on weekends. It's fine.
I'm also happy, of course, this has been a week of you hanging out with us. It's been fantastic. It's been incredible. But to my knowledge, I feel like this is the first piece of content I've been on this week with you where you've let the tattoos out. And I'm always a fan when you do because you always have such great ink.
Thank you. Yeah, I recently just got the Elden Ring on my hand, and I love that one so much. Also, Bloodborne, that's a new piece.
Nice.
And it hinges. You know?
I get it. Hunter.
Anyways, yeah, it's just been really cold in the Bay Area.
It's really cold in the
how cold it's
studio.
been.
We keep it really cold in
No,
the
it's
studio.
fine.
Too.
But yeah, today I was like, you know what? Let's let the guns out for a little bit.
Guns out, yeah. Why not? It's Friday. Let your freak flag fly.
Freak flag. Okay, Freaky Fridays. There we go.
That's what we're going to do. Of course, like I said, there is no time to waste. We are revealing all the nominees for the D.I.C.E Awards 2025. So I will remind you that this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news need to know about live on youtube.com/kindafunnygames, twitch.tv/kindafunnygames, and podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, or maybe just even like it, we'd love you to pick up a Kinda Funny membership. Of course, you can give us $10 and get all of our shows ad-free, get the ability to watch the afternoon podcast live as we record them, and of course, get your daily dose of me in a series we call Gregway. You can pick up the membership either on patreon.com/kindafunny, where we get the biggest cut of revenue, or over on youtube.com/kindafunnygames, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. No matter where you get the show and support it, thank you. Of course, if you have no bucks to toss our way, like, subscribe, share. There are plenty of free ways to support the dream that is Kinda Funny as we roll into year 10. Of course, some housekeeping for you. Thanks to the overwhelming generosity of the community, we have a new batch of gifted Patreon memberships going up on Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific on the Kinda Funny Patreon page. To be able to see the post, create a Patreon account and click join for free on patreon.com/kindafunny. If you have gifted memberships left over from the stream or are getting new gifted memberships because you want to see us succeed, you can send them to support@kindafunny.com to be included in Saturday's post. A great way to join and get all of this for free. Today, after Kinda Funny Games Daily, you are getting the GAMESCAST, and it is the second annual Kinda Funny Smileys. Our, of course, game of the year is, in fact, Monday. We cannot wait. Paris Lily flying up. We're all going to be here on set. We will reveal the top 10. We don't know it. We don't know what game of the year is. Only Barrett does. But before that, of course, last year, Andy over there, Blessing, started the Smileys, where it's like, hey, let's give some shout outs you know, for the categories kind of thing. So we're excited to do that today and have a great GAMESCAST.
I also have a part in that. Very little part.
I didn't know.
Do you know about it?
No, I don't
know
about
it.
No,
Oh, okay. All right.
I get surprised for a change.
Sleep with one eye open is all I'll say.
Yeah, fuck. Of course, there is no stream today because the GAMESCAST and Smileys are probably going to go really, really long as we act a fool out here and have a great time. Don't fret, though. There is a Gregway momentarily from me. Another 10 to 15-minute podcast. I forget how long it was in the car today. Another 3 questions involving the death of Superman Lives, involving are we going to PAX East, and one other one that I can't immediately remember. You'll get it. Thank you to Patreon producers Delaney Twining and Carl Jacobs. Today, we're brought to you by Rocket Money, but we'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is, and forever will be, the Roper Report. Time for some news. 6 items on the Roper Report. Kevin, of course. Chat, you should throw out your gold stars for Kevin. He brought in donuts today, and they're really good.
It was Kevin?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Kevin. You're the best.
Donut holes, too. He knows what's up over there.
Only one of them's poisoned.
Wasn't mine, I'll tell you that right now, because I got the red, white, and blue one, all right?
It's slow release. Yeah.
Well, he's probably been microdosing me so long.
Probably.
You know what I mean? He'd want to take out the other people, not me.
I'm making you poison proof.
Like to see, Kev. Number 1, it is time to reveal and talk about the 28th annual D.I.C.E Award nominees. The Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences is pleased to announce the nominees for its 28th annual D.I.C.E Awards, the video game industry's premier award show, with winners selected by a panel of industry peers. We will put a period right there. Why I have always loved hosting the D.I.C.E Awards, because I've done it very long now. I'm old. It's the idea that, you know, all the other award shows, maybe it's the panel of journalists doing it. D.I.C.E or for Game Awards, it's everybody. You know, then you get to the Audience Choice Awards, it's the audience. This is strictly the people who are in the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences, meaning these are the developers who make your games.
Yep.
They nominate these, they vote on these, they decide internally who they think made the best stuff, which leads to interesting results. And I think an interesting Game of the Year rundown that will piss off many people. Anyways, back to it. Returning to the stage as co-hosts are Greg Miller, founder of Kinda Funny Games, and award-winning media personality Stella Chung. The winners will be revealed at the 28th annual D.I.C.E Awards ceremony, the culmination of the week-long industry gathering at the D.I.C.E 2025 Summit. The ceremony will be live-streamed by our official media partner, IGN, on Thursday, February 13th at 8 p.m. Pacific. Late, but more importantly, we got them. Remember last year we had to call them on the show and say, what time are the goddamn awards?
Oh
Why did you put it in the press release? And they'll go, Terrence's like, I don't know.
He didn't want to get a call from you again.
Nobody does, so he's like, fine, I'll put it in there. A total of 60 games released in 2024 are nominated. Leading the pack with an impressive 6 nominations each are Astrobot, Helldivers 2, and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, followed closely by Balatro and Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 with 5 nominations. Additionally, 1000 Cross Resist, X Resist, I can never remember, Animal Well, and Batman Arkham Shadow secured 4 nominations each. Kevin, was that a sneeze or a correction through the glass?
I was sneezing real
Okay,
hard.
wow. Yeah, you okay in there, buddy?
I think something in the back there tore.
So, usually we could build up to it. Instead, we will start with competing for 2024's top honor, Game of the Year R. Chat, I need your super chats. Do you agree with what I'm about to read? Who do you think will win? What are your reactions to the D.I.C.E Awards? Of course, super chat on youtube.com/kindafunnygames to be part of the show. Competing for 2024's top honor Game of the Year are Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Helldivers 2, and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
I put this into Slack and I was like, oh, I think we could lead with like, hey, it's a crazy, and Bless is like, I don't think it's that crazy. I'm like, no metaphor? No metaphor. The game that like won IGN and won GameSpot, no metaphor isn't did not even get nominated.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa. And then of course there's no Elden Ring, which brings up the whole, hey, DLC conversation about this and Shadow of the Erd Tree and yada, yada, yada. There's no Final Fantasy. It's like, wow. Because again, to jump
Dragon
back.
Age.
I know. Yeah, Dragon Age is
You're just saying that because your wife worked there. You didn't play the game. I'm the one who loves Dragon Age. I'm aware Dragon Age shouldn't be there. Game of the Year, remember, for the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley's, the nominees were Astrobot, Metaphor, Black Myth Wukong, Final Fantasy Rebirth, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, and of course, Balatro.
Yes.
So this is a mix. We're getting a different mix here, let alone, of course, Indiana Jones coming out after the deadline for Game Awards 2024.
Which has always been one of my complaints with the Game Awards, how they kind of cut it off a little bit early into the year. And it's not fair for those games that do come out in December, because that is also when a lot of people have time to actually play these games that release late into the year.
Yeah.
So another reason why I love D.I.C.E.
Yeah. What is your reaction to this list?
I'm not surprised at the games that are here, right?
All these games are great. Nobody's taking that away.
Yeah, and I do think it's interesting that they did leave off Metaphor. It's not my kind of game, but I do know that it was very good. People loved it. So it is very interesting to leave that off. I'm happy to see Indiana Jones and the Great Circle make it, right?
Yeah.
They're getting their recognition. Yeah, I don't know. This makes sense to me. I like it. It's fine. I'm not one of those people that's going to get pissed off, but...
I don't know where Barrett Courtney is eating his smallest hat right now. All right. The fact that Metaphor wasn't here, that Metaphor is not getting its due. And then again, the Elden Ring thing and where you want to put that.
Don't get me started.
You're one of these people?
Do you think DLC should count?
Of course it should. It's a video game. It came out. We're playing it. What do we care? Why are we gatekeeping this?
Because
if a DLC is Game of the Year, don't be mad at the DLC. Be mad at the other games.
Hey man, if developers didn't include it, I'm in the right here.
And I'm not arguing that this is a wrong list. I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah.
Helldivers 2's there, am I right? Come on, get up there. That's what I'm talking about.
He just doesn't want me to beat him up.
No, of course, 100%. Of course, we put in. I asked you at the top of this, and people are popping off like crazy. Well, Iran says, "I got my basketball jersey. I tagged you on Blue Sky. Thank you, Iran. Thank you for supporting. Kindafunny.com/store." Falcon 4196 says, "Indie all the way. Greg sucks." It's Topher 9000 says, "No metaphor. Trash list. Here's $9.99. Thank you for that." Kebab says the Wukong CEO should get ready to be pissed off again. Interesting. We do need to predict who we think will win on this one. Smokin' Joe 420 says Indiana Jones is a 7 out of 10. The game design is mid.
I get it. The gameplay loop does get a little bit boring.
Thank you.
I will get that.
I think it's an immersive sim that takes you out of the immersion at every chance it gets. But that's just me. That's
oh my
just
God.
Me.
Okay.
Well, not just me. Me and Paris, and now you apparently.
Yeah. One thing we agree on. Great to finally do it after.
I was happy to work with you. You know what I mean? CJ Splitson says Astrobot sweep, but wouldn't mind Helldivers 2 getting a big W.
Yes.
And then Omega Buster says Greg Miller accepts the award on behalf of Indiana Jones. I doubt it. I doubt you'll see that. But I do hope if they win, Todd Howard just rubs it in my fat face.
Which one was it that last year you took? You were like, oh, thank you. I didn't know.
Oh, it was one of the fighting games.
That's right.
I acted like I made it, and I talked shit about Ed Boon. Yeah,
so funny.
Yeah, I like that shit. We're allowed to drink and be stupid.
Oh yeah.
So then, Astrobot Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Helldivers 2, and Indiana Jones in the Great Circle. Stella, what do you predict will win the D.I.C.E award for Game of the Year 2025/2024?
It's really tough. I feel like ultimately it may be up to Balatro and Astrobot.
Yeah.
Just because Astrobot was born out of Astro's Playroom, which was, just something that was free that came with the PS5.
Sure.
But they showed off how incredibly good they were at making platformers. So it was kind of born out of that. So I feel like it is, I don't know, try to get into developer headspace, right? It's like, it's incredible that they were able to make a full game from this. But also Balatro, I think it's like incredible. So many, it's now on Apple, it's mobile everywhere. Yeah, they had a crossover recently, I think. And it's just, I don't know. I know that's taken the world by storm. Like even people who aren't gamers play it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would be looking and saying Astrobot. I think, you bring up Playroom. Of course, Astrobot starts over on PlayStation VR, where so many people were like, oh my God, it's the Mario 64 of VR, right? For them to break out and become a mascot, to do Playroom and do this, and then again, this be this thing. We're talking, remember, to an incredibly nerdy video game crowd of people who make video games. True. And so when you look back, I think, I think you go back to 2020 where it gets interesting, right? Where it's like, last year was Baldur's Gate 3. 2023 was Elden Ring. 2022 is It Takes Two. 2021 was Hades. 2020 was Untitled Goose Game. That was the one that really swerved people and got people pissed off that weren't in the room or whatever. But it's that idea of like, back to it, it's developers seeing the Matrix and seeing what it is and seeing what it's made. And I think for as much as we laud Astrobot for being so tight, being so PlayStation nostalgia, being so beautiful, one of the things we talk about in the review that I think gets lost is the amount of gimmicks, for lack of a better term, mechanics, gimmicks they put into these levels that you use once. You use it just for this thing, and then you never come back to it. And it's like, wow, I think that strikes me so much as It Takes Two, where you built this thing for this specific level, and that's it. And I think when developers look at that, they understand the amount of work that went into that, rather than recycling asset, rather than putting this back in.
Right, yeah. I also feel like Helldivers might be a contender in the top 3, just because Helldivers 2, again, took the world by storm, and also just being able to actively kind of GM it, right? You were able to push players towards certain objectives. You were able,
totally.
The way that people were so unified in a game cause, I think there's also something to look at there. But
live service done right.
Exactly.
This show, Kind of Funny Games Daily, is often just about the live services that are fucking it up. Here's this thing that came out, now it's free to play, now it's closed. This is happening. Yes. Oh, they're nickel and diming you. This, that, the other. Like Helldivers has had those blips. Don't get me wrong, but overall, it's been whoa. This is awesome and amazing, and it's so much fun. And it's a living world that's happening on Twitter as well as in the game, wherever you are.
So cool. Yeah, and all the in-game teasers and everything that they have to constantly keep up with. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I don't know if I can narrow it down to one.
Yeah, I would put, I mean, if I was betting, and I am right now, I would say Astrobot, but I wouldn't be surprised to be surprised. I think, you especially when you do have Indiana Jones on there, where it didn't speak to me to the level it did other people, right?
Yeah.
I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. Said it was okay. Not bad by any stretch of the imagination. But so many people afterwards like, well, I love Dishonored, and this is giving me those vibes. And again, to get back into video game developer headspace, like people, I know how many devs really connect with those things. And this is the show that isn't about you had the best budget or you were the most popular game. This is you see what's working and how it works. So Maybe they get it there. Of course, I want to hear your thoughts on the rest of the categories. They go like this. Outstanding achievement in animation. The nominees are Astrobot, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Never, Warhammer 40,000, Space Marine 2. Do you want to do outstanding? We can switch off. I don't have to do the whole thing.
Sure,
You
yeah.
can do outstanding achievement.
Yeah, outstanding achievement in art direction is Black Myth Wukong, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Lego Horizon Adventures, The Plucky Squire,
Yes.
and Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2.
This is an interesting category. Like animation,
Yeah.
every category is interesting, but art direction is always a fascinating one. Plucky Squire, I don't feel lived up to what I wanted it to be based on
Really?
those trailers.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was too easy and whatever, and I had
Okay.
some bugs in it. But art direction wise, I thought was stellar. Obviously, Lego is gorgeous.
Yeah.
You get into Senua, which is always this technical powerhouse. Black Myth, obviously. Yeah, on this one, I would go for art direction. I would go Plucky Squire. Would be my vote.
Really?
Would be my
Okay.
vote. I don't think
your
it'll
vote,
win.
your vote. Okay.
Winning, I think it is kind of a toss up though between all.
I know.
This.
I don't think on the same level as developers, right? So
Yeah.
I can't predict things properly, but I would want Senua's Saga just because I feel like they do such a great job with, I guess it would be audio design, honestly. Maybe I would want them in audio design.
Here's where
Yeah.
here's where I would vote probably for Senua. Outstanding achievement in character. The nominees are 1000X Resist, The Watcher, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Yuffie, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Dr. Henry Indiana Jones.
Is Henry?
Yeah, come on, watch a movie, Stella. Stop working
was
out.
before my
Stop
time.
drinking your protein shakes. Indica. Oh yeah, the horror game. I look at this like I didn't know these words. Indica. And then Senua Saga, Hellblade 2, Senua. I think that I haven't played, even though Barrett wants me to. I haven't played 1000X Resist yet. And Indica, I've only touched a bit. I know how much Roger loved it, but I
Okay.
would vote Hellblade on this one.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think Indiana Jones and the Great Circle was a fine game, but I don't think they did much in terms of character development for Indiana.
Yeah.
And if we want to talk about just the character itself, sure, he was himself. Like, he was Indiana.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest strength was their voice actors. They had great performances.
Yeah,
But in
Troy
terms of like
killed it.
character development, I'm not sure if there was a lot there.
Okay. I mean, there's a whole. We won't spoil it. Outstanding achievement in original music composition. The nominees are Astrobot, Helldivers 2, Monument Valley 3, Senua Saga, Hellblade 2, and Star Wars Outlaws.
Ooh.
Who do you like there?
You know what? The one thing that I will never turn off the Indian
Never.
music for, Helldivers 2.
Wow. Yeah. The
always-
fucking, you're coming out of the
It's so
sky,
good.
ripping down.
I'm saying if I ever get married, I want to walk down the aisle to that Helldivers 2
That's
song.
amazing.
Someone, they made a piano composition to it. It sounds amazing. I'm like,
Oh, wow.
yeah, I'm going to walk down the aisle to that. Hell
Send me
yeah.
that. I want to hear
Yeah,
that.
you want to hear? Okay, yeah.
I would go Astrobot, and I think that's who will win here, too.
Okay.
I think they do such a great job. But
Sure.
Over to you for audio design.
Oh, yeah. Outstanding achievement in audio design is Frostpunk 2, Helldivers 2, Monument Valley 3, Senua Saga, Hellblade 2, and Still Wakes the Deep.
This is another one where if I'm making my prediction right now, I would say Senua Saga as well, right? Like, I know it's, so well known from the first game, wear headphones, you're going to hear it all around you and
Exactly.
stuff, but that was on another level this time around, right? Like, in terms of, I didn't love Senua Saga from a gameplay perspective, but in terms of a experience with what they were
Sure,
doing
yeah.
graphically, what they were doing performance-wise, what they were doing audio-wise, I think it stands out.
I mean, especially since they actually talked to psychologists and they were able to capture the feel of what it's like to have psychosis. I think there's just something to be celebrated there.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
the fact that they, constantly re-up that in Hellblade 2. So yeah, I think that'd be my vote as well.
This is another one here too, where live chats are popping off and keeping up with us. Game Pulse on YouTube says Rebirth music is fire and not nominated for original music composition. I'm sure Tim is pissed about that. You know what I mean? I'm sure Tim is
talk
pissed
to him
about that.
afterwards,
So
yeah.
yeah, anytime he's going to run in here, I'm sure that would be one of the ones going on here, or whatever. And so we have a super chat from Demon Hacker who says, okay, no Final Fantasy VII Rebirth in the music and no Silent Hill 2 James in character. A lot of people on that Silent Hill 2 train this year, yeah, but not the developers who make your video games.
Sure. I think there's something to be said about a remake, like if they've seen it before, maybe. But I get it. I do understand it. It's still a video game they had to create. So yeah.
Outstanding achievement in story, 1000X Resist, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Metaphor Re Fantasio, Still Wakes the Deep, and thank goodness you're here. A game I adored that it was like in award season has just been mum's the word. I'm happy to see Thank Goodness You're Here get a shout out.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. What about, okay.
Story here, this is Metaphors.
Metaphor,
I think
yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
where Metaphor,
No, that's
but
for
the
sure.
fact that it didn't make it in, like, so my thing with Metaphor, and we've talked about it out there, and I don't know how, if you and I have talked about it, they've heard it a million times, right? Like, I'm not the JRPG guy. And so, like, I played whatever, it was 10, 15 hours of it. I liked it, and I dug it, but I'm just like, I don't want to play more of it. And I wonder how many developers are like me, where they played it, and like, I got it. Like, this isn't my kind of thing, and I want to go. I'm strictly speaking of Game of the Year, right? This is my evidence of, like, wow, a game that, like, again, IGN, GameSpot, so many people are falling all over themselves to get into that. Give Game of the Year. Not to have it here is crazy.
Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, I know that, Persona, the stories have been so convoluted and very well written. It's just, again, it's the gameplay loop that I don't personally resonate with. But I know that there's just so much that they pack into it, especially with Metaphor. A lot of people who didn't like Persona actually ended up liking the story a lot.
Yeah, more adult, not in, school.
Yeah. So I think you're right here that Metaphor would take this one. Yeah.
We'll see.
I think, yeah.
Give me the outstanding technical achievement.
Yes, outstanding technical achievement is Astrobot, Batman, Arkham Shadow, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2. So happy to see them.
Yeah.
Oh my god. This game is so good. Like, the more you look into it, you're like, oh yeah, it has a lot of different layers. It's nice. So for technical achievement, I don't know, I feel like you're going to say Astrobot, huh?
I think it's a toss-up between Astrobot and Batman Arkham Shadow.
Really?
I think honestly, Batman Arkham Shadow might get him here.
Okay.
Where I think, don't get me wrong, Astrobot is a technically astounding game.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, but it's a platformer. It's more Astrobot. It's this, that, and the other. Where Batman Arkham Shadow really for the underwhelming platform VR has been. I'm not saying there haven't been standouts. I'm not saying there aren't great VR games, but as underwhelming as it had been, I think you see Batman Arkham Shadow get announced, and we had the Barrett video of like, oh fuck, it's VR, and nobody, it was like, oh, nobody cares about this, and for it to come out and be well received and be like, no, we actually did take what the Arkham games were known for, put it into VR and make it work and make it fun and make it enjoyable and make it feel like an Arkham game. Like, that's a technical achievement, I think. I mean, you're playing this game and not getting carsick.
Oh yeah, that's a huge achievement in VR.
Yeah. Action game of the year: Batman Arkham Shadow, Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, and Stellar Blade. What do you got in this one?
Ooh, action game of the year. I don't know.
See, I think this one for me personally is a toss-up between Black Myth and Helldivers 2. And I think I think just the fact that Helldivers 2 got nominated, I think this is where it'll get the tap for more people, because more people have probably played that and had fun with their friends. I think there's that argument of, is it an action game in the same way Stellar Blade or Wukong is?
Yeah.
No, but I'm trying to get into the headspace of a gajillion developers.
For me, I was thinking Stellar Blade or Black Myth.
Yeah.
So I might be between those two. I feel like Helldivers 2, if there's the multiplayer one, I think it might be in that one. So, yeah.
Okay. In the live chat, Benny B. Good says, you have to call it Stella Blade when Stella is here. Interesting.
I wish my butt looked as good as hers. Are you kidding me? Ugh.
Adventure. Well, you work out all the time. What's it for? You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
Adventure Game of the Year: 1000X Resist, Animal Well, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, and Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
Ooh, okay. This one, I feel adventure game. See, if Indiana Jones and the Great Circle leaned into just the adventure part, I feel like it would be much better for game.
Sure.
But I don't know.
I mean, you don't like just hours and hours of slowly sneaking up behind somebody with a shovel and hitting them in the head?
Oh. No. And then having your process
Game
be
of the
reset.
year, everybody.
Yeah.
Game of the year, everybody.
Man, I am very happy to see The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom put on any nomination, right? I'm very happy about that.
Same thing with Prince of Persia. Tim is another, cheerleader for this game.
Yes. I don't know about this one. I know a lot of people really enjoyed Animal Well. I feel like that might be something that developers look at as well, just because it's another great indie game that came out.
I feel like this one is the first race I would say I think is too close to call.
Yeah.
Where I think all of these have their individual fandoms, and especially if you're voting down the ballot and you get here and it's like, oh, well, do I want to honor one of these games that I've seen in multiple of the categories? And I think all fit the bill here.
They do.
I would think. I think Animal Well, based on the reception critically and Roger's 10 here, and I know how much people love that, I would say that I think. No, I want to say I think that wins, but it's too close. I think there's I don't think enough people played Animal Well to be like, oh, it's Animal Well.
Yeah.
And so then you're like, well, is it going to be Indiana Jones? Because I don't think enough people played 1000X Resist.
Yeah.
Echoes of Wisdom people liked but didn't love. And Prince of Persia, another criminally underplayed one.
It's so funny because you're just like me, where you think you have a decision, you're like, no,
yeah, you talk yourself right out of it.
Exactly.
Talk yourself right out of it. You want to do Family Game of the Year?
Yeah, Family Game of the Year: Astrobot, Cat Quest 3, Little Kitty Big City, The Plucky Squire, and Super Mario Party Jamboree.
This is another one where I think it's a toss-up between Astrobot and Little Kitty Big City. And I think Astrobot's going to win.
Yeah.
Because again, I think everybody
so.
played it. But I'll tell you, these both Astrobot and Little Kitty Big City are Ben games. And he loves playing them and sitting there and playing them. And he will ask for both of them by name.
So cute.
They're definitely family games. And I would say that's where
Yeah.
Fighting game of the year. Blazing Strike, Dragon Ball, Sparking Zero, Mortal Kombat 1, Chaos Reigns, Tekken 8, and Underdogs. Not my category, but I would think it's Tekken 8 by a mile, right? Everybody who loves fighting games has said that.
I would love to see Dragon Ball Sparking Zero take it, but it might be Tekken 8. Yeah.
Give me a racing game.
Yeah, racing game of the year, F1 24. Oh God, you gave me the one that okay, Moto GP TM24.
Nailed it.
Night Runners TM Prologue.
And of course, we're American, so we don't know. Whatever. Bye. Next category. Role-playing game of the year. Kevin, get Paul on the phone. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Dragon Age The Veilguard. Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree.
Sure.
Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. And Metaphor, Refantasio. Metaphor, right?
Oh, yeah. Damn it. Yeah. I want Dragon Age to take something, but I feel like this is going to be a Metaphor.
It's one of those where the only thing I think stopping Metaphor is maybe, and again, based on just the game of the year category, maybe devs don't think as highly of it as we do. And even if it was, I don't think it would be Dragon Age, the game I love. I think it would probably be Final Fantasy or Elden Ring.
Yeah. I would hope that I don't know. I hope that enough of the people would have played them all, right? So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. You obviously can refrain from voting if you aren't educated on the thing. Yeah. We'll wait and see.
Yeah.
Sports game of the year, EA Sports College Football 25, EA Sports FC 25, MLB The Show 24, and NBA 2K 25. Let's go college football.
I was going to say college football.
What the fuck is wrong with the Game Awards? Why wasn't this nominated? I know, and we're one of the judges for Game Awards. What the fuck?
Yeah. It's going to be college football.
Better be.
Strategy simulation game of the year, Balatro, Caves of Cood? Frostpunk 2, Tactical Breach, Wizards, and Satisfactory.
You're just talking about this game. I never heard about this game until you were telling me about it yesterday.
Satisfactory game of the year.
What is it again?
Oh, it is a factory building simulation game, and I know it sounds boring, but it is so good. No. Like, I didn't think I was into this. I don't think very logically, right? Like, I'm not a logic-based person, but like, it rewires your brain in such a way that you don't even notice it. And it helps you understand things about the world, about engineering. And when I played it and I started, I was driving and I was like, oh my God, the power plants. Oh, I understand how this is built now. I get it. And it's just, I don't know. It's such a good educational game. And I think that it's something that a lot of people overlook. Stop it. No. Satisfactory. Genuinely, it is so good. And you'll get sunk into it, which they know that you'll spend so much time into it that they give you like hour pop-ups. They're like, hey, you've been playing for an hour.
Oh, why don't you go outside, stretch your legs.
Yeah. It's so good. Oh my God.
Immersive reality technical achievement. Alien Rogue Incursion, Batman Arkham Shadow, Skydance's Behemoth, Starship Home, and Underdogs. Again, I would go Batman. I know there was a lot of juice behind Behemoth, but I haven't heard nearly as much praise as Batman. But again, Batman's Batman, which again is why I think it's broken through in a way that people look at this and go, I at least played that.
Sure, yeah. I also feel like with the Arkham games, there's also some sort of attachment to that as well.
Of course,
so being able to see that translated to VR, that's also a technical feat of its own.
100%. But I was a fool. What is going on, Kevin?
Kevin's beefing with me because I voted Satisfactory.
I was just looking up the trailer and the Steam automatically plays.
Oh,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, we're just making sure. I wasn't sure if you were trying to interrupt me with something.
No.
Always interrupt him.
He's the best, though. He brought donuts. Immersive?
Yes. Immersive reality game of the year. Wait, did we just do this one?
No,
we
it's
did not.
very similar to the category we just did, which was the technical achievement.
Alien Rogue Incursion, Batman Arkham Shadow, Escaping Wonderland, Skydance's Behemoth, and Underdogs.
Again, I think Batman.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Outstanding achievement for an independent game. Animal Well, Balatro, Grun, Indica, and Mouthwashing. A game that I know is 4 hours long. Blessing finally beat, and I need to play because I've been told I need to play it.
Honestly, God, I know it's going to be a Balatro, but I would love.
Yeah, I was going to say, okay.
I would love for Mouthwashing to take it because I know it's so good, and I know that people just have there's so many cosplays of it, and like there was a huge TikTok trend. Yeah, so many people actually really enjoyed it. It was very interesting to watch.
Yeah, I think it's Balatro by a country mile, and deservedly so. I just think that that's a game that took over, and I think especially when you think of indie last year.
Which is interesting leading into mobile game of the year. Balatro, Halls of Torment, Monument Valley 3, Paper Trail, and Wuthering Waves. It's got to be Balatro.
100%. Yeah. You know, a late one to the game, but so much juice behind it.
Oh, yeah.
Demon Hacker Super Chat says, I think Mouthwashing is a Greg game. No, I know it is. It's loaded on the Steam Deck. I just need to not want to play an RPG when I get home because that's what I've been doing.
I get it.
Online Game of the Year. Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred, Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, and Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2.
Helldivers 2.
Yeah, I would think so. Like, I mean, I'm outside of my element on a Call of Duty, of course. I adore Diablo and have played so much. Marvel Rivals is great. Warhammer is great. But what the success of Warhammer Space Marine 2 of playing with your friends, which I saw a lot of, was dwarfed by Helldivers 2.
I know, and it sucks because Warhammer 40K does such a great job. So in the main mission, you can actually go in and just do the main mission with your main group, or you can do operations, which shows you the other side of the mission, right? So like in the main story, you'll say, oh, we got to break off, someone handle this over there, and we'll go do this, right? So you can actually play as the other team that goes to the other objective and see the other side of that same mission, which is so cool. I've never seen any other game do that, and it's really interesting. But yeah, I agree. Helldivers 2 just took the world by storm. Also the amount,
so good.
Yeah, also the amount of like GMing that they did in it in the beginning and like showing like, you know, like them playing along with their players, I think was so fun. So I think it has to be Helldivers 2.
Understand. I agree. Do you want to do achievement in game design here?
Yeah, outstanding achievement in game design, Animal Well, Astrobot, Balatro, Helldivers 2, and UFO 50.
Achievement in game design, right?
Yeah.
You look at it's like Animal Well had no combat. Okay. Astrobot, it's going to be Astrobot.
I think so.
Again, all these different levels that did different things and had PlayStation references and these one-time gimmicks. Balatro is amazing. It could be
a lot of UFO.
Damn, it could fucking be Balatro. I agree that it could be UFO.
Okay.
Of just like, hey, here's a collection of these 50 plus games that are
sure.
But man, this is a tough category. This is a really
another one.
I don't say Helldivers 2.
Oh my God.
I say this is a Helldivers 1 super fan and a Helldivers 2 super fan, right? Of just like, I don't think Helldivers 2 broke the mold in game design. It really iterated on what it did last time. So it's like, okay, that's not the...
I will say, though, taking it from a top-down to like a third-person shooter, that was incredible, though. Being able to transfer all those assets and make them into like a...
Yeah. But I don't think that'll be enough for it. I would bet Astrobot, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was UFO or Balatro.
Sure, yeah.
And then our final one, since we already did Game of the Year, outstanding achievement in game direction. 1000 Cross Resist, Animal Well, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. Hey, there you are. Riven, and Thank Goodness You're Here. Ooh.
Game direction.
That is a tough one. I like that there's new games on here.
Yeah.
Again, and I like to see Thank Goodness You're Here since that's on my short list for my favorite games of the year. This is another toss-up of how many of these smaller games were played enough by enough people, I should say.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't.
I would say I would personally vote Thank Goodness You're Here and Die on the Hill, but I'll vote.
Okay.
I'll vote Lorelei. I think that's where it gets its flowers.
I've not played that, so.
Well.
Okay.
We will find out, ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, Thursday, February 13th at 8 p.m. Pacific, when Stella and I host the 28th annual D.I.C.E Awards for 2025 from the RIO Resort in Las Vegas. I saw when it popped off, so many people being like, man, 8 p.m. Pacific, that's so late, blah, 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 for the East Coast. And it's like, remember, the D.I.C.E Awards are the end cap to the DICE Summit, where everybody goes to round tables and makes big old business deals and talk. Like, the DICE Awards are the cherry on top where everybody goes and gets drunk. So it's really based on trying to get video game executives as drunk as possible and laugh at Mike Drucker's jokes that we say poorly. So we are excited to do that. I hope you will all join us Thursday, February 13th, 8 p.m. Pacific, to see who wins. You can watch on IGN, which will be interesting.
Yeah. It'll be interesting.
For now, I'll remind you that amazing opportunities for the D.I.C.E Awards and the opportunity to announce all the award nominations wouldn't happen without your support. We're an 11-person small business, and we need you to get that Kind of Funny membership. $10 gets you all of our shows ad-free, the ability to watch the afternoon podcast live as you record it, and your daily dose of me, Greg Miller, in a series we call Gregway. Now you can get the Kind of Funny membership on patreon.com/kindoffunny, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify Podcasts. But you're not using your benefits right now, so here's a word from our sponsor.
This episode is brought to you by Rocket Money. You sign up for something, forget about it after the trial period ends, and then you're charged month after month after month. The subscriptions are there, but you're not using them. In fact, 85% of people have at least one paid subscription going unused each month. Thanks to Rocket Money, you can see all of your subscriptions in one place and cancel the ones you're not using anymore and save more money. Rocket Money has helped multiple members of Kinda Funny learn they were still paying for things that they totally didn't even realize. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions. It monitors your spending and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of 500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/kindafunny today. That's rocketmoney.com/kindafunny. rocketmoney.com/kindafunny.
Number 2 on the Roper Report, Nintendo Switch 2 is reportedly getting 2 major Xbox games, including Halo. This is Mr. Number 2, Jordan Middler VGC. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and Halo the Master Chief Collection are both coming to Nintendo Switch 2 and PS5, it's been claimed. According to Nate the Hate, a podcaster with a history of correctly reporting on unreleased video games, both games are planned for the system as Microsoft plans to heavily support Nintendo Switch 2. It's also claimed that both of these games will also come to PlayStation 5. Both games would be the latest traditionally Xbox exclusive titles to move to other platforms.
Yay! I don't care. Here's the thing. So this has always been a thing. Like, even when I was on Unlocked, I always felt like the outsider because I was like, sure, that's fine. Like, Xbox has constantly shown that they want to push the boundaries, right? They want their games to be on more platforms. And I think that's great. That's more inclusion of people playing these games. Like, I grew up not being able to play Halo because I just didn't have a game console. Now I'm like catching up on it.
Yeah.
Like, well, man, what if I only had a PS5? Or what if I only had a Switch, right?
Yeah.
This is great. I love that they are expanding. And I know they're like the OGs are like, oh, well, but my box. And I'm like, no, it's fine. That means you'll have more people to talk about your favorite games with.
Are you really that upset that these, with all due respect, old games are coming out? You know what I mean? Like, onto these other systems?
Right,
Why does that make, that doesn't make any sense? I've never understood
like,
this.
oh my God, that just means that like your kid can play it on their Switch, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can talk to them about it and like replay these iconic moments in these games that made you so excited when you were a kid, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, you're right on the money with it. It's more the fact that I don't think it's shocking. If anything's shocking about it, it's the interesting thing of like, oh, Switch 2. And this Microsoft's going to heavily support Switch 2. It's like, okay, great. Like, obviously Switch 1 is an amazing device that can barely run modern games. So like the fact that everybody's like, oh, well, it's going to have it'll be a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 4 Pro innards and yada, yada, yada. And it's like, awesome. Prove that. Show that. Make games not look like dog shit on it when it runs. Great. I don't care. I think it's cool that it is supported. I think it is cool that they're going to bring stuff everywhere. And again, this is Xbox's mantra, right? Of like, this is an Xbox. That TV's an Xbox. This is an Xbox. My water bottle's not an Xbox. Like, I agree. If that's what they're doing, then go full bore on it. It's interesting to see, of course, even though it's just a throwaway mention, not even the headline here, Halo coming to PlayStation 5. Like, I had heard that rumor forever ago, behind closed doors, behind this, over a drink at D.I.C.E, I think, from somebody. I'm like, oh yeah, this is happening. It's like, then I've been waiting for years. Where is it?
Please.
And so here we are, where it's actually, apparently maybe happening. That's exciting. Yeah. Again, if you have, it's the same thing when PlayStation puts their games onto PC and people flip out. It's like, PlayStation's gotten all the juice they want to get out of it on that console. And again, they're usually only putting out the, like, Last of Us Part 1 to then get you ready for to hope you buy Last of Us Part 2 and now Last of Us Part 2. But it's like, they have a plan for what they're doing and why they're doing it.
Yeah, and it's not hurting your experience if you already played it on the console of your choice. It's literally doing nothing to you.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Every time like you see someone be like, oh, I'm burning my disc. It's like, okay.
You
hurt yourself. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Over here in the chat, maybe it's Mega Knee Rid. I don't know. He's got a capital R in there. I don't know.
Megane Rid?
You think so?
I don't know.
I mean, I think it's Megan E. Rid. Anyways, Xbox should just become third party. I mean, they pretty much are, right? That they're still making, obviously, the console. There's these rumors of the handheld. There's all these different things. Like, I think they could do both.
In your face, dude.
Stella's right. What would you say? Say it again.
Megane Rid.
Megane. Okay. Good job.
Thanks.
Anyways, I think this is in line with the thing. So no, it's not surprising as much as it'll be cool / weird to say, oh man, I'm playing Halo with a PlayStation controller.
I do think Microsoft Flight Simulator on Switch is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, damn.
Are we doing the cloud? Are we just doing the cloud? One of those
It'll
things?
be, I don't know. But also, if you could do like the controls, the motion controls, that'd be kind of fun. But, yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. Switch imminent, everything leaking every day. Oh, and here you go. Speaking of Gregway. Number 3, Nintendo responds to the Switch 2 CES leaks. This is also the bald one, Jordan Middler at VGC. Nintendo has addressed a series of claims from accessory manufacturer Genki surrounding the Nintendo Switch 2. Over the last week, a deluge of images and claims have emerged from CES, which took place in Las Vegas. At the center of this is accessory maker Genki. The company reportedly showed what it claimed to be an accurate replica of the Nintendo Next system. Representatives from the company also claimed to have a final unit of the system and shared information about this as yet unannounced system's release date. Now Nintendo has commented on these images to the Japanese publication Sankei. Quote, "These images and videos are not official," a representative for Nintendo told Sankei. Do we need them to say that? I was aware these weren't official images, Nintendo.
I mean, you would.
I was aware the videos weren't official videos, Nintendo.
You are, but you have a brain, and a lot of people on the internet have lost the ability to think comprehensively. So,
I mean, but they're not denying it. They're saying the videos aren't official. Yeah, I know. Like, it's like if somebody prints the fucking Kind of Funny logo on an iron-on shirt and wears it around, I can say that's not official, but it's still the fucking Kind of Funny logo. God damn it. It's a rare acknowledgement of internet rumors from Nintendo. However, the scale of the leaked images and details of the next system may have prompted the company to respond.
I think when there have been so many rumors swirling around this one console, you kind of have to say something, right? I appreciate them saying it, even if it seems like a no-brainer. I appreciate them saying it because, like Chad said, people were like, yeah, this is official, right? I'm freaking out. So, I don't know. Also, I did inadvertently, that you have a brain is the nicest thing I've said to Greg.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I like that a lot. Yeah. I'm just so ready to fucking do it. Just do it.
I know.
Just do it. Can we just do it? Can we announce when this is Nintendo? When is it happening? When can we just get the live stream ready and get ready to watch this goddamn thing? I got the developer direct for Xbox all set on the 23rd. Where can I pencil you in?
Yeah.
I'm sick of all this stuff. I just want to see what it is. Everybody's saying next week, though. They're just calling for it. You know what I mean? I'm calling for it whenever. You know what I mean? Drives me crazy, everybody.
Do you think this will push them to reveal faster or
nope.
no?
I think if this is shown anything, it's that Nintendo's like, we have our date and that's our date. We don't get, and again, you know, I'm playing it up on camera and doing all these things. To your point, like the mainstream doesn't even know CS is happening. They have no idea what that is.
No, they don't know
the
what that
millions and millions of Switches that have been sold and the people who are going to be so ready to buy a new one, to play the new Mario, to play the new Zelda, to play the new Animal Crossing, they don't know about any of this shit. And so when Nintendo does the official, we're doing the thing, that will be brand new news to everybody. And they won't know about the C button, and they won't know about the bigger screen, and they won't know about the magnetic Joy-Cons.
Most of them won't even care. They'll just be like, oh, okay, great. My kid wants this? Sure.
Put it on the Christmas list.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how we'll do it. Number 4 on the Roper Report. He's the Hispanic heartthrob, Texas treat, Latino heat, clicking heads and ripping them to shreds. He's the globe-trotting, head-shotting, rootin' tootin', 3-point shooting, Citizen Sleeper 2 previewing, Andy Cortez. That's right. The number 1 games journalist, Andres Cortez, has been playing a little game called Citizen Sleeper 2 Starward Vector. The Steam description reads, a dice-driven RPG in a human and heartfelt sci-fi world. You are an escaped android with a malfunctioning body, a price on your head and no memory of your past.
How you doing,
Get a
baby
ship,
girl?
find a crew, and take on contracts while you navigate across the Starward Belt. It's coming out on January 31st, 2025, and Andy Cortez, he's not the tastemaker like Roger, everybody, but he was the first person I ever heard talk about Citizen Sleeper 1 and how much you loved that game. So, Andy, how much Citizen Sleeper 2 have you played, and what do you think?
Citizen Sleeper 1 made me say, wow, reading can be cool. You know?
Wow.
Maybe there's something to these books and stories and
Don't get
writing.
ahead of yourself. Don't
You
get
can
ahead of
read?
yourself.
I'm so proud of you. Oh my God.
Okay, well, fuck off, you know. I've been playing Citizen Sleeper 2, Greg. But by the way, Citizen Sleeper 1 was like, totally came out of nowhere for me. It was a game that I played because I heard it on every podcast, every gaming podcast talk about how good it was. And after playing it, it was just like, man, there's a lot of reading in this. But god dang if every other sentence isn't just like the hardest bar you've ever read in your life. It is so good, right? And so part 2 comes around, very, very excited for it.
But that means expectations are high. Hopes are high.
Hopes are high, Greg. And I think the biggest question you have to ask yourself for Citizen Sleeper 2.
The Defender 8-9. Is this game a contender? Contender.
Oh my God,
if your list is bad, return to sender. Contender. Contender. I'm a 12-year GameStop Power Up Rewards member. Contender.
Big question.
Contender.
Big question you got to ask yourself. Is the game?
Wait, why'd you show Funko Pop at the end?
The graphics are great. How were they rendered? That was the line. That's the bar.
God.
Is Citizen Sleeper 2 a contender? This is just a preview, right?
This is just a preview, not a
full review. Not a full review.
I expect you to file one eventually.
But god dang, if this game's not a contender, Greg.
Really?
It lived up to the hype?
It's living up to the hype so far. I can only talk up to what the preview period is kind of, here are the guidelines or whatever. But you are once again just kind of immediately thrust into a very incredibly compelling story that right off the rip, you're just like, oh shit. I was this the right time to start this game on my Steam Deck at 11 p.m. at night?
Did it play well on the deck?
It plays fantastically on the deck, yeah. There are a couple of bugs here and there, but it has to do with the
optimization.
Whether the game is is it a touch screen or are you using the controller?
Sure.
I mean, it's not even anything to kind of worry about. But immediately you are thrust into the situation where you have this antagonist that is super sick and cool. And again, the story Citizen Sleeper is you are a consciousness that has been uploaded into these droids, and you are essentially kind of working off your debt. This game is very much just about, capitalist societies and, people aren't cared for anymore in the future, and we're living on different space stations. And it at every moment, you go do the side quests here and there. You do a little skill check. Maybe if you're in a conversation, do I have the right sort of skills for this? Bam, you pass that test. Hell yeah. And then you will maybe be brought up with a little mission where you go to a meteor to go try to find this, piece of rare kind of material or whatever. But then you'll meet a really amazing, compelling... Sorry, I can take off the sunglasses.
Well, right there while you were doing, Orel Sanchez super chat said, "I did not know Kind of Funny had Daredevil previewing video games."
You'll meet an incredible NPC with immediately just draws you, and you're just like, oh my gosh, every line is a bar. Like, it is just poetry. This book, I say book, but this story is fantastic. Barrett Courtney?
Hello.
Hi, question from the pool here. What does this mean for my fantasy critic?
So, I thought it was going to do really well for you, but then you mentioned the first one didn't do great. So I'm like, man, maybe people just didn't see the vision.
It got like an 84, so.
Okay. I think it should be, if that got an 84, it should be around the same level. Again, maybe I'm just kind of overrating this in some way.
The one thing I'll toss you, from watching and hearing you talk about it, I still can't envision the gameplay. Like, you're like, oh, you go do a side mission over here, you do this, and it's just words and then some dice.
It looks like a visual novel almost from the way that it seems to be animated, which I really like.
It very much is. You'll see the key art of characters pop up, and conversations will happen, and you'll respond to them in kind. Again, this is a very, very small team. I think it's just one person maybe making the game. Okay. I'm sure there's several people helping out, but you're not. Don't expect every response to have a certain outcome, and I responded positively here, so they all get this response from this NPC. It's still kind of limited in some ways. You can kind of see where the seams are, but the writing is just so good and so impressive, and every character immediately want to learn more about them. You want to help out their cause. It is such a game filled with, in some ways, a lot of pessimism, but there is like an underlying optimism to just the nature of humans and how we can help each other. And it's really, really beautiful in a lot of ways. And then you'll be hit across the side with just a really heartwarming story from a random NPC that you recruit on your ship. You go do missions with them. So the gameplay is you never see a little dude walking around. You are just the person that you go click on this space station to fly your ship towards, but you got to make sure you have fuel for it, so you can do some odd jobs to kind of... You're essentially just rolling dice, digital dice.
Okay. Well, because you're digital entity, right? Like you said that it's the consciousness uploaded, so you don't have a body, right?
You don't have a body, but you also you never see NPCs in crowds walking around. You are just kind of
okay.
you're always looking at essentially an overworld map of a
cool.
space station. You click on that little section. You walk to the well, you don't walk, but you just see yourself open up that zone. But man, it's just. Again, this is the thing. This is the game where I'm like, man, reading can be cool sometimes, and I kind of get it, And Blessing was wondering, man, will I be able to get into this if it's just reading and stuff like that? And I know how Blessing is.
Blessing's a big jock. He doesn't look like a guy who reads at all.
Jock?
Blessing,
Okay, fucking nerd.
well, Blessing was like, I'm watching Arcane while playing a video game. I'm like, okay, well, you can't just do that,
What? Oh my God.
But with this game like Citizen Sleeper, I said, if my ADHD ass can be so interested and compelled by the writing and characters in this game that I will sit there and just read and then kind of pick my response for what I feel is best in the situation. And maybe I don't go for the gun. Maybe I try to diffuse the situation. All that stuff I think is just so fun and interesting. And the music absolutely rocks. I saw somebody ask in the chat, how's the music? Because the soundtrack was amazing. The sound, that looks like Tim Getty so
It's
much.
the same shirt though you're wearing.
Oh, is it?
That's what the chat was saying.
Oh,
too.
that's a lot more shiny though. Is the music amazing? Yes, the soundtrack is fantastic in this game, and yeah, it's just a really, really good time. I can't wait to do the full review. I'm excited to keep on playing it.
I'm installing it to my Mac right now.
Wow, look at you!
that.
I'm gonna install it on my
some.
Steam Deck.
Oh yeah, it's on my deck already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just think it's if you, I would say if you watched Andor, Star Wars Andor, Disney Plus, and were ever like, man, every line in this show just feels like the hardest line you've ever heard ever. That
Sure.
I get that all the time in these Citizen Sleeper games, and especially in part 2, I'm getting even more and more of that. Really enjoy it. And yeah, that's all I got for Citizen Sleeper 2.
Andy,
Starward
thank you so much.
Vector.
What a great preview. What a great outfit. All right.
Thank you.
Phil super chatted and said Andy looks cute in his boys department JC Penney suit jacket. Love you, Andy.
Thank you.
Then we had some people saying Daniel May is literally playing Citizen Sleeper 1 right now. Go play it. Zeke Speak says I'm playing Citizen Sleeper 1 on Game Pass. It rips. It's so good.
It's on Game Pass?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Oh,
gotta
that's
play it. I gotta
right.
play it.
Yeah.
Do
I
you feel like
I gotta play
do
it.
you need to play 1 to get more out of 2, or can you just jump into 2?
So I would say you would definitely get more out of it because the game's amazing. And part 1 is, I think, a 7-hour completion
Oh, wow. That's
to
not bad.
like 12 if you go for full completionist.
Okay.
But with part 1, there definitely felt. With part 1, I didn't do a lot of stuff in it.
2
There-
will also be on Game Pass. Millsies is shouting out over there.
There are a lot of NPCs in part 1 that you won't even get to fully experience their stories, and maybe that's because they want you to do extra side quests or whatever, or maybe they want you to do extra playthroughs. But when I beat part 1, I ended on such a perfect note for me as the person as the sleeper that I was role playing as,
Sure.
that I immediately pursued the 2 NPCs that introduced me the most, or interested me the most, and got their side stories and got to experience everything that they're going through. And I was like, wow, that was my experience. And I definitely left a lot of threads open still, but I got what I wanted out of that experience. And I don't, based on just the way the gameplay works, it feels like they kind of want you just to pursue 1 or 2 kind of side things here and there.
Okay. Well, very
But it's
interesting.
very, very interesting. It's very, very good.
All right. Thank you so much, Andy, for that comprehensive
Greg.
preview. And great outfit.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Oh, dress up for the Smileys.
Well, okay. Before the Smileys, can you tuck in your shirt?
Well, I got my joggers on, so probably
Oh.
not.
Next is the number
See you guys.
7.
Oh my
When you're ranking games, you gotta ask yourself one question. When my top 10 is done, I won't need a defender. 8, 9.
Oh.
Is this game a contender? Contender. If your list is bad, return to sender. Contender. Contender. I'm a 12-year GameStop Power Up Rewards member.
Yeah.
That was great. That was great. Great song. The Blackout was a choice.
I didn't know. His aura points just went up.
Oh, he's so good. You know what I mean? Number 5, Ubisoft appoints advisors to explore all company options. This is Mike Straw at Insider Gaming, following up on what we were talking about yesterday. Ubisoft has announced that it has appointed a group of leading advisors to assist with exploring company options moving forward. The news comes as part of a special strategic update provided by the company on Thursday. Quote, following the strategic and execution reviews initiated by the executive committee a few months ago, Ubisoft is taking decisive steps to reshape the group in order to deliver best-in-class player experiences, enhance operational efficiency, and maximize value creation, the company said via press release shortly before the call took place. During the call, Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot said that this group of advisors will, quote, review and pursue various transformational, strategic, and capitalistic options to extract the best values for shareholders, end quote. He didn't give details as to who these advisors are, but did say that things will be overseen by the independent members of the board of directors. Yves said that he's confident this decision will position Ubisoft for a stronger future in the years to come, and that he's confident there are, quote unquote, several potential paths forward for the company. As far as more information into what these paths are, Guillemot didn't divulge. He was asked multiple times for more clarification, but said that he couldn't say more and wouldn't comment on specific rumors that were circulating. He reiterated, however, different options are being explored. I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah.
We talked this to death yesterday.
I
We've
know.
talked it all week long with the delay of Assassin's Creed, the rumors of the selling to Tencent, the doing this, blah, blah, blah. Yves trying, the family trying, like, where is Ubisoft going? Not even we talk about this year, but just in the next few months. Kevin keeps throwing up the stat.
I know.
The stock here.
Well, I think it's time for your sound financial
Hit the button, Kev.
advice. Yeah. I want to know more.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to your favorite reoccurring kind of funny games daily segment. Greg, sound financial advice. Again, we are down. It looked like today we're down to $2.46. This is what you want. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what we've been preparing for, everybody. All right. We have been sitting here waiting for Ubisoft to get low so you can buy, so you can sell high. Again, someone is going to buy Ubisoft. When they do, they need to pay you for your stock. That's when your stock goes up, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. Again, this happened once with my Virgin America stock.
What did I do to you,
I'm
Kevin?
begging someone to buy Portillo's because I took a bath in that stock. But like, these are the only stocks I've ever bought. So this is what I'm saying. We got to do it. You got to pay attention. You got Mr. Sean Peach says, wasn't it $2.52 yesterday? Yes, which means we're almost to the ground floor. It can't go much lower than this. So just when you have the shot, you might want to consider doing this. Mellowfellow says, should probably say for the audio listeners about it not being real advice. Is it not real advice?
It is not. Just to be clear,
no.
audio listeners.
I made
this
it
is
pretty
not
clear. I
real
don't know
advice.
what I'm doing.
Let's not forget, he told you to buy it at $5. You've
Was
lost
that it?
half your money. Yeah, you did. Last year.
$5.33. Yesterday I said
Something like that.
33, 30.
I'm pretty sure it was $5, and you told people to take a picture.
Replay the clip.
And guess what? If they sell it for $6, I still win.
Right, but right now, if they sell it, they lose half their money.
Well, yeah, but those people who bought it back then, they're locked in. That's too late for them.
You're right. They got to commit fully.
There's been a what I call a stretch of non-believers who didn't see with the writing on the wall like Greg Miller did, and he's saying this is almost the time you should be buying. All right.
Now, how much did you buy?
It was $100. Remember, it was a joke we did on the show.
Oh my God.
I think I've already sold it too. I think I got out.
Oh, you didn't.
I haven't opened Robinhood or any of that shit in forever. I think I
Oh
got
my
rid of it all.
God.
I think it did not look good. I offloaded probably around $4, $3. I don't know.
Chat.
I can open it up and see. I'm not sure. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't.
Well, isn't Robinhood the one that like people are not using anymore too because it had like a huge thing? I forget what it was.
Yeah, it was during the GameStop thing where they
Yes,
were like,
that's
yo,
right,
yo,
yeah.
yo,
Oh,
just stop
they
buying or
stopped.
whatever. But it was
That's
still
right,
like,
yeah, I
that's where I
forgot
had.
about that. Yeah.
They froze that stock.
Yeah, I got
right?
nothing
Yes, that's
invested,
right.
so I sold it a long time ago.
That's crazy.
You got to know when to get out.
I mean,
Follow Greg,
I got out, everybody! Stella,
Yes.
my financial portfolio,
Oh God.
or lack thereof, is big news.
Uh-huh.
But I'm sick of it. It's been
Let's
a
just,
long
you know
week.
what? You don't have to do all that. You go to their last story, the Wii News channel, where we cover all the small news items you need to know about.
Number 6, the Wii News. From VGC, Final Fantasy maker Square Enix has shared a new group customer harassment policy, which it hopes will support its workers suffering abuse from toxic fans. Square says that should it find that an individual has engaged in harassment, quote, we reserve our right to cease providing support services to or refrain from providing our group's products and services, end quote.
Yeah, fuck them.
That'll stop them. Elden Ring Night Rain network test signups are up. The network test schedule is February 14th, Valentine's Day, 3 a.m. to 6 a.m., 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. These are Pacific times. February 15th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. February 16th, 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. and 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Hitman World of Assassination has surpassed 75 million players. Holy shit. Go get him, IO. Local multiplayer is coming to Fortnite Festival on Xbox and PlayStation January 14th. Seems like that's a little late to the party.
Yeah.
We had a moment where everybody was like, it's back. And then we're like,
I know, yeah.
The House of the Dead 2 remake launches this spring on Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, and PC.
Yes!
You're a big House of the Dead person?
I am. Well, okay, I'm a big typing of the Dead person. So
See,
like,
if they had said that, I'd be like, all right.
But still, for me, I'm just like, it's close enough. I like it. Yeah.
Cool. And then the first Berserker Kazan, right? Demo is releasing on Thursday.
Well, that's the one that had ads all over the Game Awards.
Yeah. And that's your final Wii News for Friday, everybody. Don't panic. It was fun. I'm going to give you super chats that weren't directly read or had some. Gerald of Rivia said, birthday tax here. Thanks for everything you and Kind of Funny do. Here's to another 10 years. Happy birthday and thank you. Pover had chimed in and said, thank goodness you're here is here. It's a good playing words, and I like that too. It's Topher 9000 says, my name is a Dragon Ball Z reference, but I got to give it to Tekken in the fighting game category. Here's $5. Thank you. Zeke Speaks says, the tats are out. The cult is back. Let's fucking go.
I have a cult? Ooh.
Yeah, remember you got to get the Cult of the Lamb thing going right now. Punctified says, the game of the year was the best friends we made along the way. We'll see you in Vegas. Oh, yeah. Hey, what's up? Bryce Jackson says F124 is the worst performing gameplay-wise revenue and least played F1 game since EA bought Codemasters. People are just putting it on by association. True. I think when you get to these sports categories, we've talked about this with Game Awards even, where fighting games, Blessing was talking about this, where people start nominating things that this isn't a good fighting game, but it's one of the only fighting games that came out this year, so it's getting in there. Sure. Norman says, I will go play the fuck out of Halo on PlayStation 5 Pro. Gears Collection next, please. High Score says, just saying, Stella's perfect for Kind of Funny.
Aw.
You fit in well here because you bully everyone.
I do. It's because someone needs to humble y'all.
It's true. Yeah. We definitely have too much. You know what I mean?
It smells like too much boy in here.
Joey's doing her best.
Yeah, I know.
Mr. Nice Guy Rye gets the final super chat of the week and says, the frequency of entrance/exit music for Kind of Funny daily KFGD run-ins this week is something that needs to stay. We need theme songs for everyone pronto. You're mouth to God's ears. All right, we're working on it.
Yours would just be a trombone playing every time you take a step.
That's just a fat guy joke. You know what I mean?
No, it's just a you joke.
Hate you. Your wrongs. Of course, if you want to keep us honest while we're live, kindoffunny.com/you're wrong. Mr. Hawks writes in and says, when going over the D.I.C.E award nominees, Greg was confused on 1,000 cross resist. It has been confirmed it's 1,000 times resist. Thank you very much.
Times. Okay.
And then Miss News from Mr. Jan Tix says, Miss News on the Nate the Hate article. Nate the Hate suggested that Final Fantasy VII Remake is hitting Xbox in 2025 with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth angling for 2026. So thank you for those additions. Stella?
Yes.
You've been fantastic this week. Thanks for hanging out with us, streaming so much. It's been great.
Yeah.
Of course, people can keep up with you and me hosting the D.I.C.E Awards February 13th, 8 p.m. Pacific on IGN. But between then and now, where should people find you?
Yeah, I've been streaming every other day at twitch.tv/ParallaxStella and on my YouTube, where I do have my Snap Aim podcast going up and other video essays on like games and movies, if y'all like that sort of thing. So yeah, you can follow me there.
Fantastic. Ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, that's another episode of Kind of Funny Games Daily in the bank. Your final one for the week, but we're far from done today. Of course, up next is the Kind of Funny Gamescast with the second annual Kind of Funny Smileys, our category by category award show to get you warmed up for the big enchilada, kind of funny game of the year, a gigantic podcast happening on Monday. We are very, very excited for it. Afterwards, we're doing an exclusive Let's Play that I don't know if confirmed we can talk about it then, but exclusive Let's Play after Game of the Year on Monday. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Also, exclusive podcast next week. Something very cool happening. There's a bunch of cool stuff, but mainly Smileys are next, and of course on Monday, Game of the Year. We're very excited for it. Yeah, that's right, Barrett. Barrett's excited for it. He's putting a lot of work for it.
Yeah.
Of course, if you like what we do here, if you like all the content, if you like us bringing our friends around, of course, get that Kind of Funny membership. $10 gets you all of our shows ad-free. It gets you the ability to watch live as we record the afternoon podcasts, and it gets you your daily dose of me, Gregway. Of course, you can pick it up on patreon.com/kindoffunny, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, Apple Podcasts, and of course, Spotify. But for now, we're going to go do the GAMESCAST. Catch it on for free, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, podcast service, all the jazz. But until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.